What's up guys, today I'm going to show you how to change your oil. I'm going to show you on my 370Z, but the same thing pretty much applies to all cars. The first thing you need to do is if you have a container to put your oil once you've drained it and it's full of oil, take it to your local auto parts store so they could recycle it or dispose of it properly. This thing's currently full of dirty oil, so it's about to be taken into O'Reilly Auto Parts to be dumped. Then we'll have room to dump the one that's currently in my 370Z. The oil has been dumped at O'Reilly Auto Parts. I have this oil, this additive, these jack stands, this filter, this chalk for the rear tires, a rag, a ratchet, and a low profile jack. The only other tool we're going to use is this creeper, which is to help you roll under the car easier. So if the vehicle you're working on is a truck, you probably can skip a lot of these steps. But since my car is low, we're going to start off by jacking it up. Before you raise the car, make sure you have it in gear and with the handbrake up. Make sure you get it from a proper jack point. Mine's being raised from a ridge where you're able to jack it up from, but if you don't know where to jack up your car, look it up online or in the manual. Once it's up, you want to put it on a jack stand. This jack stand's lined up with the chassis right there, so there will be a strong point to hold it. Make sure it's sturdy, then move on to the other side. Once you're done with both sides, you want to make sure the jack is also on a good point, so you could leave it there. It's always good to have more safety because safety first. Next, for safety, you want to chalk the wheels. If you don't have actual stoppers, you could use bricks or something. Just make sure that they won't slide because this is for your own safety. The ridge side goes face down and the smooth side goes against the tire. Now you want to pop your hood. Make sure the stand's in place properly. Then you want to remove this cap because it'll give it better airflow and the old oil will come out easier. These are usually hard to take off, so you may want to use a tool. I'm going to just use a rag. It makes it easier. Now you're going to want to take this bolt out to drain out the oil. Get your 14mm socket and break it loose. Make sure that you have your container here to catch the oil. You want to start with the catch can close and then move further as you follow the stream. This oil is pretty much pitch black, so it definitely was time to change it. As there's less pressure, the stream moves, and as the stream moves, sometimes it's unpredictable, so it's good to put a piece of cardboard down just in case it spills. In our case, it didn't spill, but it's good to be prepared. Once that's done draining, screw the bolt back in. Now that the oil's mostly drained, we're going to remove the oil filter. Get ready to catch the excess oil that's going to come out. Now that that's done draining out, you're going to want to pull it off and more is going to come out because it has a lot of oil inside. Now the filter's still out and we're going to pull the bolt off of the oil pan again because there will be extra oil that wasn't free earlier that's going to come out. While your drain plug is out, you're going to want to check if your washer is still in good shape. If it is, you could reuse it. If it's not, right now is a good time to replace it. Before the new filter goes in, I'm going to dip my finger in the oil and rub some around this ring so that it seals better. All right, now that the ring's been lubricated, you want to reinstall this. And hand tight is fine, you don't need to use a tool for this. Now that it's done draining, you're going to want to put the bolt back on. Wipe it down and then tighten it with the hand tool. You don't want to over torque this thing. Once you've got to this point, you're going to want to put the car back on the ground because once you're filling it back up, it'll give you a more accurate reading when you're checking what level your oil is at. So raise it up a little bit. Remove the jack stand, lower it carefully. Do the other side. Remove the chalk. Now that we're up here, I'm gonna show you guys a trick. Open up your oil, pull out your dipstick, put the dipstick in the hole where you put the oil, put the oil against the dipstick, and pour it down. Doing this will make it so you don't need a funnel. Once you're all done putting your fluids in, put the cap back in place and tighten it. Once you've tightened this cap down, you're going to want to check your dipstick one last time. Pull it out once and wipe it. Once it's clean, stick it back in, and this will be a more accurate reading. Check it out. It's right about at this ridge, and I like it that level because it's not high enough to burn, but it's high enough to protect my engine. Now that everything's tight, you're going to want to start the car to check if there's any leaks, and you should be good to go. Now that we're done, it's time to close the hood. Now we're going to start the car to make sure there is no oil leaks. When you're in the car, check your mileage. Depending on what type of oil, you're going to want to redo this at a certain amount of time. If it's regular, it's going to be about 3,000 miles. If it's synthetic, it's going to be about 6,000 miles. If it's a blend, it's going to be about 4,200 to 4,500 miles. Once it's running for a bit, you just look under to make sure there's no oil spilling. Alright guys, so if you followed all these steps, you should be good to go. Make sure you do this at the appropriate time for your car so that you always take care of it. Also, make sure you always check the level so you don't rod knock it. If you guys enjoyed this video and it was easy to follow, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so you don't miss another one of my videos. I'll see you guys next time.